best meals you've never tasted are hiding between yellowed pages and handwritten notes. These forgotten recipes were once family staples, strange, resourceful, and full of soul. You won't find them online, only in the cookbooks your grandparents left behind. Let's rediscover 25 forgotten recipes no one makes anymore. Stone soup. Stone soup is more than just a forgotten recipe. It's a culinary treasure buried in the yellowed pages of grandmother's cookbooks. This dish evolved from folklore into a practical meal solution documented in Depression-era recipe collections. When homemakers faced empty pantries during America's economic collapse, dusty cookbooks revealed how simple water could transform into nourishment. Starting with just water and vegetable remnants, old cookbook instructions directed cooks to gently simmer onions, carrots, and potato trimmings until their flavors melded together. A pinch of herbs preserved from summer gardens, some root vegetable ends for substance, and perhaps a saved bone if fortune smiled. All were detailed in those weathered recipe pages to create broths that sustained communities. Today, while modern cookbooks feature elaborate ingredients lists, these forgotten recipes remind us of culinary economy. A contemporary version might cost around $3.50 and serves 8 people, approximately 50 cents per serving. In every spoonful of these rediscovered preparations, there's heritage, a connection to culinary traditions nearly lost to time. The recipe for stone soup endures in those cherished old cookbooks as evidence of kitchen wisdom, where every ingredient had purpose and every meal told a story. Potato peel soup. Second is the remarkably resourceful potato peel soup, a creation born from hardship that's now nearly vanished from our culinary consciousness. Hidden within the yellowed pages of grandmother's tattered recipe collections, this testament to wartime ingenuity transforms what most modern cooks discard into a surprisingly filling meal. This remarkably simple dish, little more than seasoned water transformed into broth with discarded potato skins, reveals our ancestors' resourcefulness during lean times. What makes this forgotten classic truly remarkable isn't its flavor profile, but its astonishing ability to satisfy hunger for extended periods. Similar to how modern diners feel surprisingly full after a bowl of oatmeal, potato peel soup leverages the substantial fiber content concentrated in potato skins. Approximately half the vegetable's total fiber resides in the peels alone. This humble recipe earned its place in old cookbooks precisely because it sustained families when resources were scarce, effectively suppressing appetite when food was limited. While created from necessity rather than culinary ambition, this forgotten dish reminds us how traditional wisdom found value in what modern kitchens typically discard. Cherry cola pulled pork. Slow-cooked barbecue savory pulled pork simmered in a pool of cherry cola. Barbecue sauce creates a flavor combination that initially seems bizarre but delivers spectacular results. This dish took off in a major way, especially in the South, because it combined everyday ingredients in an unexpected yet delicious way. The sweet caramelized notes from the cherry cola perfectly complement the savory richness of the pork, creating a complex flavor profile with minimal effort. Everything involved in this recipe was already present in most homes, making it ideal for home chefs during the slow cooking era. The pulled pork becomes tender enough to fall apart with just a fork, while the cola reduces into a sticky, glossy sauce that coats every shred of meat. It's a showstopper capable of feeding a crowd while leaving them satisfied and impressed, proving that sometimes the most unlikely combinations produce the most memorable meals. Salmon patties with cream peas. Salmon patties with cream peas were a weeknight dinner classic, especially during the 1940s and 1950s when fresh fish was hard to find or prohibitively expensive. Canned salmon provided an affordable, shelf-stable protein source that could be transformed into something special. These patties combined salmon with breadcrumbs, egg, and seasonings, then were fried in butter or oil until golden brown. The crispy exterior contrasted beautifully with the soft interior, turning humble pantry ingredients into a satisfying hot meal. What elevated this dish was the creamed peas, a white sauce made with flour, butter, and milk poured over everything, softening the patties and adding rich, diner-style comfort. The combination was warm, creamy, and surprisingly filling. Most importantly, this unpretentious dish could feed a family of 5 with just 1 can of salmon and a bag of frozen peas, proving that good food doesn't require expensive ingredients, just thoughtful preparation. Velvita fudge. Velvita fudge is not a myth, but a very real dessert that graced tables across America. The star ingredient is that familiar processed cheese brick found in countless refrigerators. The logic behind this unusual combination? Velvita is soft, salty, and melts perfectly. When combined with cocoa powder, butter, and powdered sugar, it creates a rich, creamy texture remarkably similar to traditional fudge. Skeptics became believers after tasting it. Once melted and mixed, the cheese's flavor disappears completely, leaving behind deeply chocolatey, ultra-smooth fudge with a subtle salty edge. During times when fresh dairy was expensive or difficult to store, Velvita offered a practical alternative that didn't require refrigeration until after preparation. This recipe became a cherished family secret, passed down through generations with the caveat, just try it before you judge it. The unexpected marriage of processed cheese and chocolate demonstrates the creative problem-solving that characterized mid-century American cooking, finding new uses for everyday ingredients to create something surprisingly delicious. Egg drop soup. Egg drop soup appears in countless vintage cookbooks as a timeless comfort dish once prepared in nearly every American kitchen. This recipe, originally tucked between yellowed pages of grandmother's handwritten collections, represents culinary wisdom nearly lost to time. In those dog-eared cookbooks from generations past, instructions detailed how to transform humble ingredients into something remarkable by whisking eggs into a simmering broth, creating silky ribbons that dance through the golden liquid. The instructions were charmingly imprecise. A pot of broth heated until steam rises, with eggs added in a thin stream, while stirring gently to achieve the characteristic delicate texture. The result was a soup that combined the rustic simplicity of farm-fresh eggs with carefully crafted broths that simmered for hours. Often, handwritten notes in margins suggested additions, like a pinch of freshly ground pepper or garden-grown scallions to enhance the traditional flavor. This beloved dish filled not just recipe cards, but entire sections of community cookbooks, where each family's variation told stories of regional preferences and heirloom techniques. Modern cookbooks rarely feature this once ubiquitous soup in its authentic form, having replaced it with fusion versions or simplified shortcuts. Today, finding the original recipe requires hunting through antique bookshops or inheriting treasured family recipe collections. In a world of digital recipes and cooking trends, traditional egg drop soup stands as a delicious artifact of culinary history, preserved only in the faded ink of recipe books that once formed the backbone of American home cooking. Porcupine meatballs. Porcupine meatballs were not named for their ingredients, but for their appearance. Made from ground beef mixed with uncooked white rice, these meatballs would simmer in tomato sauce or broth until the rice began to poke out like little spines, creating their distinctive look. This was frugal food that actually worked. The rice bulked out the beef, making a small portion stretch across multiple meals. Despite their unusual appearance, porcupine meatballs were beloved for their soft, comforting texture, ability to soak up sauce, and versatility. They could be served with mashed potatoes, noodles, or even on plain white bread. What made them truly remarkable was their adaptability. Ground turkey, pork, or any meat combination could be used, and they could be flavored with onion soup mix or vinegar for extra kick. These meatballs appeared in lunchboxes, weeknight dinners, and community potlucks, with children particularly loving their whimsical name. Bacon bow tie crackers. Bacon bow tie crackers offered the perfect solution to breakfast monotony, doubling as sophisticated cocktail appetizers, versatility that few dishes can claim. These delectable bites featured crispy crackers wrapped in bacon, then baked until the bacon itself achieved the perfect crispness. The resulting combination was a revelation. Smoky yet sweet, savory yet buttery smooth, never dry despite the cracker base. The contrast between the crunchy cracker and the slightly chewy, rendered bacon created a textural masterpiece that kept people reaching for more. What made these particularly special was their elegant appearance despite using just two common ingredients. The bacon would crisp up around the cracker in a way that looked intentional and refined, making them appropriate for both casual breakfasts and formal gatherings. This dish represents the brilliant simplicity that characterized many mid-century recipes, transforming everyday ingredients into something special through clever preparation rather than exotic components. Peanut butter stuffed celery with raisins. Peanut butter stuffed celery with raisins, affectionately known as ants on a log, reigned supreme as the champion of after-school snacks and mid-century bridge club menus. This curious combination started as a healthy alternative to sugary treats, featuring celery sticks filled with generous smears of peanut butter, topped with raisins lined up like little ants, marching in a row. Parents and teachers promoted it as brain food, while children loved the fun of precisely arranging the raisins. Remarkably, this playful snack also found its way into adult gatherings, appearing at afternoon teas, church functions, and even diet cookbooks. Some variations substituted cottage cheese for peanut butter, demonstrating its endless adaptability. Though simple, this was snack royalty for decades, appropriate for both children's lunchboxes and sophisticated luncheons. The combination of sweet, salty, creamy, and crunchy created a perfectly balanced bite that satisfied without being indulgent. Practical nutrition disguised as a delightful treat. Green tomato pie. Green tomato pie showcases Southern ingenuity at its finest, transforming unripe tomatoes into a dessert that rivals the best apple pies. This brilliant creation uses typical Southern spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, paired with tart, firm green tomatoes harvested during fall. What's fascinating is that this dish emerged as an imitation of mock apple pie, which was itself an imitation of traditional apple pie. An imitation of an imitation that became a legitimate culinary tradition in its own right. When sliced and baked with sugar and spices, green tomatoes develop a remarkable similarity to cooked apples, with a pleasant tartness and tender texture. Genius of green tomato pie lies in its resourcefulness, using ingredients that might otherwise go to waste. Houses across the South would prepare these pies during tomato season, creating something special from ordinary ingredients and proving that culinary creativity thrives when working within limitation. Bali Malo Irish Lamb Stew. This authentic Irish dish from County Cork has found a welcoming home in America, particularly spreading through Irish-American communities around St. Patrick's Day. Whether in New Hampshire or Rhode Island, which maintain strong Irish populations, you're bound to encounter Bali Malo stew occasionally. Despite its excellence, featuring tender carrots, potatoes, and succulent strips of lamb, this dish actually faded from public memory before the 20th century, only to experience a revival thanks to social media and its namesake, Bali Malo House. What makes this stew exceptional is its reliance on the natural flavors present in simple, quality ingredients, rather than complex techniques or exotic additions. The lamb becomes meltingly tender during slow cooking, while the vegetables absorb the rich broth, creating a hearty, satisfying meal that connects diners to generations of Irish culinary tradition. This is truly one of the best recipes to emerge from family cookbooks, delivering comfort and sustenance in equal measure. Orange Sunshine Salad. Orange Sunshine Salad looked like summer in a bowl, even in the dead of winter. This vintage side dish combined orange gelatin with shredded carrots and crushed pineapple, poured into a mold and chilled into a vibrant shape. Lucky diners might discover a maraschino cherry floating near the top like a ruby prize. Remarkably, this wasn't served as dessert, but alongside dinner, often with meatloaf, ham, or cold cuts. The sweet-tangy mix of fruit and vegetables became a Midwestern miracle and potluck staple in the 1950s and 1960s. Some versions incorporated cottage cheese, celery, or chopped nuts for additional texture and flavor. Its enduring popularity stemmed from practical advantages: affordability, refrigerator longevity, and the splash of color it brought to otherwise beige plates. Children enjoyed its sweetness, while adults appreciated its versatility. For a generation or two, orange sunshine salad signified thoughtful hospitality, brightening tables across America with its jewel-like appearance. Mock duck. Mock duck epitomized Depression-era culinary theater, transforming humble ground beef or sausage into something resembling luxury. This creative preparation involved rolling seasoned ground meat flat, filling it with a stuffing of breadcrumbs, onions, and available vegetables, then rolling and tying it like a formal roast before slow baking. The goal wasn't necessarily deception, but aspiration, creating something that approximated the experience of higher status food during times of limitation. Though few were truly fooled by the substitution, the effort earned respect for its ingenuity and presentation. The dish delivered richness and satisfaction far beyond its modest ingredients. The stuffing effectively stretched the meat, the roast-like shape elevated the meal psychologically, and accompanying gravy unified the components. Mock duck wasn't everyday fare, but reserved for Sundays, holidays, or when company visited. Occasions when families sought to momentarily transcend their circumstances. Gathering around a table to slice into the carefully prepared roll, families participated in a dignified performance that acknowledged hardship while refusing to be defined by it, finding creativity and pride within strict limitations. Grilled cheese sandwich. The epitome of comfort food, the old-fashioned grilled cheese sandwich became popular during the Great Depression when families made do with three common pantry ingredients: bread, cheese, and butter. Some got creative by adding sliced tomatoes, ham, bacon, or pickles, but this sandwich was best enjoyed simple and plain. Before burgers and fries dominated American cuisine, grilled cheese paired with warm tomato soup was the ultimate food combination that satisfied even the pickiest eaters. The crispy, golden exterior giving way to gooey, melted cheese created a sensory experience that transcended its humble origins. Most cheese sandwiches are vegetarian and can easily be made vegan by adjusting the cheese type and oil. This unpretentious creation has survived decades of culinary trends because it delivers exactly what comfort food should: warmth, simplicity, and a nostalgic feeling that makes everything seem right with the world. Hot dog casserole with potato chips. Hot dog casserole with potato chips represents peak convenience cooking, a meal designed to be fast, cheap, and guaranteed to please picky eaters. The construction couldn't be simpler. Sliced hot dogs mixed with canned baked beans, topped with crushed potato chips, and baked until bubbly and golden. This dish became a staple in households where tight budgets met large families, offering protein, starch, and enough flavor to satisfy hungry appetites. Its genius lay in customizability. Some added cheese, others incorporated onions, or different bean varieties depending on pantry availability. Beyond affordability, this casserole offered quick preparation and minimal cleanup, making it perfect for busy weeknights. The contrast between the soft, savory bean mixture and the crispy, salty potato chip topping created textural interest that elevated the humble ingredients. This comfort food embodied the practical creativity of mid-century American cooking, transforming inexpensive processed foods into something greater than the sum of their parts through thoughtful combination and simple technique. Liver and onions. Liver and onions was a common and nutritious dish in American diets in the past, prized for its high iron content and vitamin richness. Typically, thin slices of liver were pan-fried with onions, sometimes accompanied by bacon or other seasonings. It was often served alongside mashed potatoes or vegetables, creating a hearty and fulfilling meal. During an era when nutrition awareness was growing, liver was valued for its health benefits. However, its popularity has waned in recent decades due to changing tastes and dietary preferences. Many people now prefer lighter meals or have developed aversions to the strong flavor of liver. Concerns about cholesterol and saturated fats have also led to decreased consumption of organ meats like liver in balanced diets. While liver and onions may have faded from popularity, the classic appeal of beef stroganoff continues to entice with its timeless flavors and comforting appeal. Chicken pot pie. From the 1950s to the 1980s, chicken pot pie was a beloved dish in American homes. This comforting meal, wrapped in a flaky pie crust, was filled with a creamy mix of chicken and vegetables. It was a favorite because it was simple, affordable, and a complete meal in one dish. Families loved how versatile chicken pot pie was. They could add their own touch by including different vegetables like carrots, peas, and potatoes, making it tastier and healthier. This made it a go-to dinner choice, especially since it didn't require a lot of time or money to prepare. Chicken pot pie wasn't just about the food. It symbolized a time when homemade meals were important in American family life. The delicious smell coming from the oven meant more than just dinner. It was a sign of togetherness and comfort shared around the table. Homestyle lamb casserole. In the heart of winter, nothing says comfort quite like a homestyle lamb casserole. This dish, a staple in many homes during the early 20th century, was more than just a meal. It was a family tradition. Imagine a deep, heavy pot filled with tender chunks of lamb, slow cooked until they fall apart with the touch of a fork. Root vegetables, carrots, potatoes, and parsnips absorb the rich flavors of the meat and broth, becoming meltingly tender themselves. The magic of this casserole lies in its simplicity and the time it takes to develop deep, complex flavors. Seasoned with fresh rosemary, thyme, and bay leaves, it fills the house with an irresistible aroma, promising a hearty and satisfying meal. Originally, this dish was prepared using ingredients readily available from the farm, making it a practical choice for families during the colder months. While today's fast-paced lifestyle often pushes this dish aside for quicker options, bringing it back to the table offers a delicious reminder of the past. Lobster Newberg. Lobster Newberg, a symbol of seafood luxury, was created by Ben Weinberg and became a sensation at Delmonico's restaurant in New York in the late 1870s. This creamy dish features lobster chunks cooked in butter, then combined with a rich mix of egg yolks, cream, and a splash of sherry. The sherry adds a slightly sharp flavor that balances the creamy richness. Lobster Newberg is all about extravagance, often served with a dash of cayenne in a crispy pastry shell or alongside buttered toast. Imagine the sophistication of having this dish prepared right at your table, adding a bit of culinary drama to your dining experience. It quickly became a favorite in upscale restaurants, reflecting the luxurious dining trends of its era. Lamb shank and barley soup. Lamb shank and barley soup, often known as Scotch broth, embodies the essence of winter warmth. This dish has roots in Scotland and was cherished for its ability to provide both comfort and sustenance. Lamb shanks, known for their rich flavor and marrow-filled bones, are simmered with barley, which lends a delightful nutty texture to the soup. The addition of carrots, leeks, and turnips creates a hearty, flavorful broth. The slow simmering process, which could take several hours, ensures that the flavors meld beautifully, creating a soup that is both filling and nourishing. This traditional recipe was a favorite among Scottish families, particularly during the harsh winters. With the advent of modern convenience foods, such time-consuming dishes have become less common. But the deep, comforting flavors of lamb shank and barley soup make it a dish worth rediscovering. Lobster Thermidor. Lobster Thermidor, originally from France and popular in mid-20th century America, was a symbol of luxury dining from the 1950s to the 1980s. It was known for being served in fancy restaurants and at exclusive events, reflecting a sophisticated lifestyle. The dish involved boiling the lobster, then carefully mixing its meat with a sauce made of cream, egg yolks, mustard, and cognac. This mixture was placed back into the lobster shell and broiled. The creamy sauce, flavored with cognac and mustard, added richness to the tender lobster. Over time, Lobster Thermidor's popularity declined, partly due to changing tastes favoring lighter, healthier foods, and its elaborate preparation being less practical for everyday meals. High pie. High pie, or raised pie, is a fascinating relic from the 17th century. This dish features a sturdy hot water crust pastry, which is shaped into a tall, cylindrical form. Instead of a typical pie lid, it is topped with a layer of mashed potatoes, offering a unique twist on the traditional pie. The filling, which could include anything from minced beef to braised chicken, is seasoned and cooked until tender. Historically, high pies were often reserved for special occasions due to the labor-intensive preparation. The crust was molded by hand, requiring skill and patience. Despite its decline in popularity, high pie remains a testament to historical culinary techniques and offers a hearty, satisfying meal that can bring a touch of tradition to today's table. Beef Wellington. Perhaps named after the Duke of Wellington, beef Wellington is a marvel of British cuisine, showcasing culinary artistry. Picture tender beef tenderloin coated with pâté and duxelles, a mix of mushrooms and herbs, all wrapped in a crispy puff pastry. The key is sealing the tenderloin tightly to cook it perfectly juicy while keeping the pastry flaky. This dish is typically served at grand dinners and special occasions, often accompanied by rich gravies and elegant vegetables. It's known as a feast fit for royalty, capturing the essence of grandeur. Dining on beef Wellington often includes slicing it at the table, revealing the succulent meat and intricate layers. A true delight for the senses, its grand presentation makes it a memorable centerpiece of celebratory meals. Braised skirt steak. Skirt steak, often associated with grilling, takes on a new dimension when braised. This cooking method involves slow cooking the steak with onions, carrots, celery, and a flavorful broth or wine. The result is a dish that's both tender and flavorful, with a rich, savory sauce that pairs perfectly with mashed potatoes or crusty bread. Braised skirt steak has historical ties to various cuisines, including Mexican and American. In Mexican cuisine, it is known as arrachera, a popular cut for carne asada. Its versatility and rich flavor make it a great choice for a comforting winter meal. Despite its deliciousness, skirt steak has become less common in recent years, overshadowed by other cuts of meat. However, its rich, satisfying taste makes it a dish worth reviving. Chicken and dumplings. When it comes to budget meals, nothing screams comfort like chicken and dumplings. While some may consider it a simple dish, it's a true delight, especially during those chilly winter months. Cooking this dish is straightforward. Boil chicken until tender, shred it, and toss it into a pot with some chicken stock and a mix of vegetables. The dumplings are just as easy, combining flour, milk, and a few seasonings. Chicken and dumplings found their place in many homes during the Great Depression, providing nourishment during tough times. Some even claim that German immigrants brought this dish to America, with the term dumpling translating to Knödel in German. The heartiness of this meal is perfect for bringing families together, often serving as a focal point for conversations and laughter around the dinner table. Mock turtle soup. Mock turtle soup, a creation from 18th century England, was designed as a more affordable alternative to green turtle soup. The original recipe used ingredients like calf's head or brain to mimic the texture and flavor of turtle meat. Over time, mock turtle soup evolved and became a staple in British cuisine. In the U.S., the dish gained popularity, particularly in the 19th century. Its rich, complex flavors were achieved through slow cooking with ingredients like onions, carrots, and a splash of sherry. Although it has fallen out of favor, mock turtle soup's historical significance and unique flavor profile make it a fascinating dish to explore and enjoy today. Fondue bourguignonne. Bringing everyone together around a pot, fondue bourguignonne features bite-sized pieces of meat cooked in hot oil and dipped in various sauces. This variant became hugely popular in the 1960s, transforming mealtime into an interactive celebration. To enjoy fondue bourguignon, you'd need a fondue pot, skewers, and a steady heat source to keep the oil bubbling. It wasn't just about the taste, but the experience of cooking together that made it a hit at casual gatherings, adding a lively atmosphere to the dining table. Originating from France's Burgundy region, this fondue traditionally used local wines along with the oil for cooking. Safety was crucial, ensuring everyone had the right tools and knew how to handle the hot oil. Fondue bourguignon combined community and flavor, making dining an engaging part of the evening. Chicken a la king. This creamy delight, possibly first made by either William King of Philadelphia's Bellevue Hotel or a chef at New York's Delmonico's in the early 1900s, is a true comfort food. Imagine tender chicken in a velvety sauce with mushrooms, pimentos, and green peppers. The secret is in the roux, enriched with cream and butter, wrapping the chicken in a comforting blanket of flavor. Some say the dish was named after King George II, adding a royal twist to its history. Marketed with slogans like "Cooking for Kings," it often appeared on the tables of the wealthy, served on toast or in a vol au vent. This dish became a beloved part of family gatherings, symbolizing elegance and special occasions. Rumaki. Take a journey into the exotic with Rumaki, a dish that surprises with its unique blend of water chestnuts and chicken liver wrapped in bacon. Introduced in American tiki bars during the 1950s, it brought a taste of Polynesia to cocktail parties. The chicken liver and water chestnuts soak up flavors of soy sauce and ginger before being wrapped in bacon and baked to a crisp. This appetizer is a real conversation starter, known for its bold flavors and interesting textures. It's often served on skewers or fancy toothpicks, making it easy to grab and enjoy. Rumaki quickly became a star at gatherings, adding a touch of excitement to appetizer spreads and sparking lively conversations among guests. Quiche Lorraine. Quiche Lorraine is like a savory ode from France's Lorraine region. Made with a harmonious blend of eggs, cream, and smoked bacon nestled in a flaky pastry crust. It tells a tale of culinary evolution, evolving from humble medieval roots to a beloved brunch staple. Each bite offers a crispy pastry, yielding to a velvety filling where the bacon's smokiness meets the custard's richness. Versatile and impressive, Quiche Lorraine shines at gatherings whether served hot or cold. It gained popularity in the U.S. during the 1950s as American cooks explored international flavors. Known for its perfect balance of flavors and textures, it graces cafe menus and family tables, often paired with a simple salad to complement its decadence. Chili is a flavorful and hearty dish that's perfect for feeding a crowd on a budget. Made with ground beef, beans, tomatoes, and a mix of spices like chili powder and cumin, it's a meal that's both filling and comforting. Whether you prefer it mild or spicy, chili can be easily customized to suit any taste, with some families adding corn, bell peppers, or even chocolate to enhance the flavor. This one-pot meal is simple to make and great for cooking in large batches, making it ideal for leftovers or freezing for future meals. Its origins trace back to the American Southwest, where it became a staple for cowboys and pioneers. Today, chili is enjoyed nationwide, from casual weeknight dinners to chili cook-offs, bringing a sense of warmth and satisfaction to the table. Served with cornbread or over rice, chili remains a versatile go-to dish for any occasion. Plus, it only gets better the next day as the flavors continue to blend. A piping hot bowl of chili is just what you need on a cold night to feel cozy and content. Seafood Newberg. Seafood Newberg invites you to savor a blend of lobster, shrimp, and scallops in a creamy, sherry-infused sauce. Created in the late 19th century, this variation of Lobster Newberg embodies American seafood elegance. The delicate preparation involves gently poaching seafood in butter and sherry, then combining it with a rich sauce of cream and egg yolks. The result? A luxurious texture with creamy and briny flavors that harmonize beautifully. Seafood Newberg is often served in puff pastry shells or alongside golden toast points, a staple of fine dining that offers both visual and gastronomic delight, showcasing the bounty of the ocean in every bite. Blackened redfish. In the 1980s, Chef Paul Prudhomme introduced a culinary sensation known as blackened redfish, a magical creation in the kitchen. This dish is a fiery delight, featuring a redfish fillet coated with a robust blend of Cajun spices, then seared to crispy perfection in a hot skillet. The spices form a charred crust that seals in the fish's moisture and flavors, delivering a spicy and smoky experience. Typically served with a squeeze of fresh lemon and simple sides like steamed vegetables or fluffy rice, it balances its heat with bright, zesty notes. The popularity of blackened redfish soared, but its demand led to overfishing concerns and subsequent fishing restrictions aimed at protecting the species. Chicken marbella. Chicken marbella is a dish that epitomizes the culinary creativity of the 1980s, emerging from the Silver Palette Cookbook by Julie Russo and Sheila Lukens. This recipe combines sweet prunes, tangy capers, olives, and a generous splash of white wine, blending sweet and savory flavors in a memorable way. Garnished with parsley, it not only tastes delicious but also presents beautifully on a plate, making it perfect for dinner parties. One of its appeals is its make-ahead nature. You can marinate it overnight and simply bake it before serving, making entertaining effortless. With its exotic Mediterranean ingredients, chicken marbella brought a taste of the Mediterranean to American tables, aligning perfectly with the decades' love for bold, worldly flavors. It quickly became a fashionable choice for gatherings, reflecting the trend for sophisticated yet easy-to-prepare dishes. How ordinary people weathered extraordinary hardship with creativity and dignity. They remind us that good food isn't always about exotic ingredients or elaborate preparations. Sometimes it's about making the most of what you have, finding comfort in simplicity, and sharing what little is available with those you love. Next time your grocery budget feels tight, instead of reaching for expensive ingredients, consider these forgotten classics. You might discover that between two slices of bread lies not just a meal, but a connection to the quiet heroism of everyday survival that defined much of American food history.